Hey guys, what's up? It's Stacker13, and in this tutorial I will be showing you all on how you can downgrade your iPhone, iPod Touch, or iPad from iOS 5, the final version, down to 4.3.3. Now you guys may be wondering, why would I want to do this? Now currently 5.0, the final version of iOS 5, does not have an untethered jailbreak. So some of you guys may have accidentally updated to iOS 5 not knowing that the only jailbreak available was a tethered one, and you are really desperate for an untethered jailbreak, so you really want to downgrade back to 4.3.3. Now, if you follow this video correctly, then you should be able to do this downgrade. Alright, so before you even attempt this downgrade or even try to do this tutorial, there is one thing that you got to check, and that is if you have your SHSH Blobs saved. Now, there is one way to do this. If you're on iOS 5, which you are because this downgrade video is for you, and you do have a tethered jailbreak, you have Cydia and everything, one way to check if you have your SHSH Blobs saved for 4.3.3 is to open up Cydia, and if it says at the very top of Cydia in green writing, if it says SHSH and it shows 4.3.3, then you can use this tutorial. That means you do have your blobs saved for 4.3.3. However, if you don't feel like doing a tethered jailbreak on iOS 5 and you don't know what in the heck blobs are, then you will not be able to do this downgrade. If you never saved your SHSH Blobs while you were on 4.3.3 or 4.2.8, if you have a Verizon iPhone, then you cannot do this downgrade. I get tons of emails every single day from my previous downgrade video for people asking, saying, oh yeah, I'm on 4.3.5, how do I get my blobs for 4.3.3? You can only save your SHSH Blobs for 4.3.3 while you're on that firmware. So if you never saved the blobs while you're on 4.3.3, then you cannot do this downgrade. And once again, if you have a Verizon iPhone, then in your case it would be 4.2.8. Okay, so if you do know that you have your SHSH Blobs saved for the firmware you want to downgrade to, which in our case it's either 4.3.3 or 4.2.8, then you can do the rest of this tutorial and it should work. But before I get onto it, I just want to say two quick things. If you have any problems with this downgrade whatsoever, I would recommend leaving a comment down below asking your question or stating your problem rather than sending me a message. If you send me a message, I might not respond to it because I get tons of messages every day and I can't reply to all of them. Whereas if you leave a comment on this video, hopefully other people viewing this can help you out and they can respond to your comment. So if you have any problems, leave a comment down below. The second thing is, if you don't feel like watching this whole video, I'm guessing it's going to be pretty long, then remember I will have a full step-by-step written instructions in the description down below, along with all the download links, so please make sure to go in the description if you don't feel like watching this whole video, and just do the step-by-step guide. And like I said, if you have any questions, just leave a comment. Okay, so step number one is to download the 4.3.3 firmware file for your specific device. So I will have all of the download links in the description down below. I also got the 4.2.8 firmware files for the iPhone 4. As you guys can see, I got mine right here, so just make sure to download that, and I would recommend putting it on your desktop. Okay, so step number two is basically if you have the TinyUmbrella program on your computer, then you want to open it up. As you guys can see, I got it on my Mac right here. And what you want to do is you want to go to the Advanced tab right here, and you want to click the little checkbox that says Set Host to Cydia on Exit. So just click that so it's unchecked. Just make sure it is unchecked, and then click Apply Changes right there. And then you can simply exit out of TinyUmbrella. Alright, so step number three is editing the hosts file. Now, this typically is the hardest step, I would say. Not necessarily the hardest, but just kind of the step where people are most likely to make mistakes and they're downgrade doesn't end up working because of it, so please make sure to follow it closely. If you're using a Windows computer right now, then you just want to go to this directory right here. It will be in the description down below. So you just want to go to C, or local disk, and then Windows, and then System32, and then drivers, and then etc. And inside the etc folder there should be a file called hosts, HOSTS. Now remember, when you're going to this directory and all these folders and everything, when you open up My Computer, if you're running Windows Vista or Windows 7, I would highly recommend that you right click on the My Computer button and click Run as Administrator, just in case something goes wrong. Hopefully Run as Administrator will fix that. And once you have gotten to the etc folder, then you simply want to right click the hosts file and click Run as Administrator. So then what you want to do is you want to copy and paste this line of code at the very bottom of that file. Now you may already have this at the bottom if you have attempted a downgrade before. Now it might have this at the beginning, a little number sign, and you want to get rid of that. For some reason I've noticed that it does make a difference. I don't know what Apple has done. I'm not too intelligent on it, I guess, but it does make a difference, it seems like. So just make sure to remove the number sign if it's there, and just make sure that this line of code is at the very bottom of everything. No spaces between the bottom code and just at the very last code, insert this line of text and save the hosts file, and that should work fine for a PC. Okay, so now if you have a Mac, then changing the host file is pretty different on both of the operating systems, Snow Leopard and Lion. So if you're running Snow Leopard and you have a Mac, then this is pretty easy. You just want to navigate to private and then etc, and you simply want to do the same thing as on Windows. Just open up the host file, insert this line of code at the very bottom, make sure to remove the number sign if it is there, and just save the file. Unfortunately, on Mac OS X Lion, Apple made it a lot harder to edit the host file, so I'm going to be showing you on how to do that, just in case you have a Lion machine. Alright, so for Lion, you simply want to open up the terminal application. So I'm going to do that through Launchpad, and remember, this is only for Lion. And I'm going to simply type in that code right there, sudo nano, and then private etc hosts. And in case you can't remember that and you're running Mac OS X Lion, then remember that I will have a full step-by-step guide on how to edit the host file on Lion. So if you don't feel like following this part, or you just find it too hard to follow it without reading, then like I just said, look in the description and you should see a little title that says how to edit host file on OS X Lion. But anyways, I'm just going to press enter. I'm going to type in my password. And as you guys can see, I got the actual host file right here. Now basically on Lion, if you try to do this just like you do on Windows or Snow Leopard, it will not let you save. So as you guys can see, I got the line of code right here, but it does have the number sign at the beginning, and that's what I do not want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my text file, and I'm going to copy this line of code, just like you would if you were on OS X Lion. And I'm going to simply backspace this right here, as you guys can see, and I'm going to copy it like that. As you guys can see, just like that, it should look like that whether you're running Snow Leopard, Windows, or Lion. And I'm going to press the control button on my Mac and then X, and I'm going to press Y. And now it has been saved just like that, and you can move on to the next step. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put our iDevice into DFU mode before doing the restore. Now in case you don't know how to do this, I'll put step-by-step instructions in the description down below, so make sure to check that out if you can't follow it while I'm doing it in the video. So what you want to do is you want to plug in your iDevice. So I'm holding the camera with one hand, so it is a little hard to do this, but should be able to. So as you guys can see, plug in your device, leave it on. And now what you want to do is you want to hold down the power button while it's plugged in, and you want to slide the power off just like that. And now what you want to do is we're going to be holding down the power button for 3 seconds, and I'm going to press the home button and the power button down for 7 seconds, and I'm going to let go of the power button and leave down the home button for about 10 seconds. Alright, so we're going to do it right here. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007. Let go of the power button, leave down the home button for about 10 seconds until iTunes recognizes that your device is in DFU mode. And if you did it correctly, your screen should stay black. Okay, so iTunes should say that your device has been detected in recovery mode. Now, if your screen is still black, then your device is in DFU mode. However, if there's a little iTunes logo with a USB plug, then your device is actually in recovery mode, and you don't want that. So then, if that is the case and you want to retry the DFU mode process. But if it says this and your device's screen is black, you can simply click OK. Now for a Windows computer, you want to hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and click Restore at the same time. For a Mac, it's actually the Option key, so I'm going to hold down the Option key and click Restore. And it should open up this window asking you what firmware you want to restore with, and I'm going to simply check the 4.3.3 firmware, which is what you want also, unless you have a Verizon iPhone and you want to downgrade to 4.2.8. So just click the file and click Open, and then you want to click Restore. And as you guys can see, the restore is almost finished, and if you do get an error like that, as you guys can see on the screen right now, then it is a very simple fix. You might get that the first time. Just edit the host file once again, save it, and then attempt the restore right after you do that. So if you wait too long from editing the host file and then restoring, it will give you that error. So if you do get that error once again, then edit your host file really quickly, and then right after that, reattempt the restore, and it should work. Okay guys, so as you can see, the restore has finished, or I should say downgrade, and as you guys can see, my iPod Touch 4th generation was successfully downgraded to firmware 4.3.3. So I just went from iOS 5, the final version, down to 4.3.3, so now I can do an untethered jailbreak on this, and so can you. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like the video by clicking the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my second channel, Other to Hacker 13, my gaming channel, Spirals Gaming, and also follow me on Twitter. Those 3 links will be in the description down below. Please click the annotation on the screen now to watch my previous video if you haven't already. Once again guys, thanks for watching the video, and see you all later.